Hi, today we are going to have a session on configuration of demand planning and supply network planning. Demand planning configuration. The following are the basic demand planning configuration steps. Creation of master planning object structure (POS), storage bucket profile, time bucket profile, CVCs, planning area, planning book and data view. There are three types of master data in demand planning: planning master data, bill of material, routing, material master and resource. These data uses CAF functionality to populate in SAP APO. These master data are required to generate supply plan in supply network planning tool. BW master data required for reporting that relates to characteristics such as text, attributes and hierarchies. These data uses BW extractors to populate data in SAP APO. Finally, forecasting master data. Master data specifically for demand planning called CVCs. This data is created in SAP APO demand planning and stored in the planning object structure (POS). Before going to explain what is master planning object structure, I just give overview on key figures and characteristics. Key figures here's movement data in the InfoQ fact table as quantity or value. For example, key figure can be sales value, sales quantity. What is characteristics? They are the objects by which you can aggregate, disaggregate and evaluate business data. For example, characteristics are product, location, customer, division and region. And these characteristics and key figures are defined in administration workbench in internal business warehouse. Now, what is master planning object structure? It contains plannable characteristics for one or more planning area. In demand planning, the characteristics can be either standard characteristics or one that you have created yourself in the administration workbench. So characteristics are determines the level on which you can plan and save data. SAP recommends that you create your own characteristics for planning. If you don't want to work with default characteristics, product and location, define your own characteristics for product and location in internal business warehouse using tool transition code administration workbench RSA1. And to store your characteristics for product and location in the planning object structure, choose edit and assign product location. And when you're releasing demand plan to SNP, include your own characteristics. And here you can see these are the different characteristics. The dimension is groups the characteristics, product and customer. CVCs are the combination of characteristics. CVCs are the master data for demand planning. Aggregate are a subset of characteristics. If aggregate exists, you can save the data at aggregate level as well as detail level. It improves the performance of planning. Creation of master planning object structure. Go to SAP menu, demand planning, current setting, administration of demand planning and supply planning, and this is transaction code / SAP APO MSDP_admin. Before going to create POS, I just give overview on navigation attributes. And aggregates. Navigation attributes can be used for selecting and navigating planning data in demand planning. The use of navigation attributes adversely affects performance during data selection and during navigation in the interactive planning. For example, we have characteristics called sales organization, for which we have navigation attributes world region and currency. So we can then group all of the sales organization together by world region. In this way you can add different levels of detail without introducing additional characteristics into your POS. Now I will show you setup of navigation attributes in info object in internal BW. Go to transaction RSA1. Here is the modeling. Under the modeling, create an info, select info object, This is an info object catalog for characteristics. So here is your customer. You can add your navigation attributes to the superior characteristics. Superior characteristics is a customer, and navigation attributes go to attribute. So country is a navigation attribute. So here we have assigned navigation attribute to the superior characteristics customer. So now I will show you creation of POS. SPRO, supply chain planning, demand planning, basic setting, supply and demand planning configuration. Select the tree, click on planning object structure, right click to create POS, enter the name and continue. Enter description, search for characteristics, select and assign the APO location and APO product characteristics into POS and search for other characteristics. The characteristics you have created in the info object catalog, those are populates in POS. So you have to copy and assign to POS. Here you can see the dimension. In dimension you can group the characteristics. For product and product group, you can group in dimension 1. Location and the sales organization customer, you can group in dimension 2. You can check for display navigation attribute. You can see the country is a navigation attribute for superior characteristics customer. Check POS. No errors found. Save and activate. Continue. POS successfully activated. Here you can see if you create your own characteristics other than standard characteristics, so you have to assign product and location here, and here you can see consistently check for POS, display, last log. So this is creation of POS. What are aggregates? Aggregate contains subset of characteristics in the POS. If aggregate exists, the system saves planning data on the defined aggregate level as well as lowest level of detail. And storing data at aggregate level improves performance of planning. For an example, if you are having product group P, having product P1, P2, P3, the forecast data per month for product P1 is 200, P2 is 300 and P3 is 500. The forecast data for product group P is for month 09-2008 is 1000. Aggregation is summation at the group level. So now I will show you creation of aggregation. Right click on the POS, create aggregates. Enter name and continue. Select assign to POS. Check for errors and activate. Assign package and save. Batch job for filling aggregate successfully scheduled. Continue. Again continue. The POS activated. You can see the POS has been activated. So this is the creation of aggregates under POS. What is storage bucket profile? It is used to store data in demand and supply planning. Storage bucket profile defines time buckets in which data based on given planning area is saved in demand planning or supply network planning. You can select periodicity in which you want to save data from storage bucket profile. You can define one or more periodicities in which you wish the data to be saved. The horizon during which profile is valid. You can see periodicities: day, month, week, year. You can have fiscal year variant as well as posting periods. Creation of storage bucket profile. Go to transaction code TR32. Or you can have menu path, SAP menu, SPRO, SAP menu, advanced planning, supply planning, basic setting, defined storage bucket profile. Enter name, select periodicity, with the horizon, start date, end date. Save. What is planning bucket profile? Planning bucket profile defines periods or buckets in which data in the data view is displayed and planned. So planning bucket profile defines following: which time buckets are used for planning, maybe week, day, month or year. How many periods of individual time units are used. Sequence in which time periods with the various time units appear in the planning table. Creation of planning bucket profile. Transaction code TR30 or SAP menu, supply planning, basic setting, define planning bucket profile. And you have to create planning bucket profile, feature planning bucket profile and history planning bucket profile. And the periodicity you are defining the planning bucket profile should be same with the storage bucket profile. So here I have taken the future bucket profile 6 year, 12 months, 24 week, and define planning bucket profile for history. Six years, 12 months, 24 weeks. So this is creation of time bucket profile. CVCs. Characteristics value combination. CVCs is a master data of demand planning. CVCs are group of characteristic values, hence known as combination, which is used in forecasting process. In CVCs, we can define with what characteristics values forecasting can be done. So demand planning characteristics determines the level at which demand plans are created, changed, aggregated and disaggregated. For example, which customer buy which product at which location. These kind of combinations are defined in CVCs. So here you can see the CVC. Characteristics are product, location, customer. Characteristic values are product 102, 103, 104, the location, different location, and the customer. So CVCs groups the combination of characteristics for this product, location, and customer. CVCs can be created with a different following different option, and CVC can be created using transaction code /SAP APO /MC62, and you can create single characteristic combination, create characteristic combination, create manually, create characteristic combination, load to work list, load from info provider, then source file, go to transaction code MC62, enter POS name, you can see the option here, create single CVC, create characteristic combination, delete from command list, display, click on create characteristic combination. Here you can see different option to create CVCs, create manually, load worklist, generate immediately, generate background. and here you can see the check caches value. System will check the caches values while creating CVCs. Load worklist. You can create CVCs by using info provider. The info provider in the version. And click on execute, and you can see the CVC has been uploaded successfully into the POS. Now select and generate all. So POS is not used in any planning area. Create planning area and include the POS. POS created. This is creation of CVCs. Planning area. Planning area is central data structure for demand and supply planning. It determines where and how planning results are to be saved in a cache. Planning area specifies the following: unit of measure, currency, storage bucket profile, aggregate level, key figures. The POS and storage bucket profile are the prerequisite for being created planning area. Creation of planning area. Go to transaction code, SAP APO MSDB _ admin in SPRO. Demand planning, basic setting. Click on planning tree. Right click on planning area to create planning area. Enter planning area name and enter POS name, storage bucket profile name, enter currency, unit of measure, Continue. Here you can see aggregates for POS key figure. Assign key figure to the planning area. Search. Select and assign to planning area, and corrected history. Search for corrected history with technical name. Select and assign to planning area. Finally, forecast, assign to planning area. Forecast. And history sales values. These are the key figure copied and assigned to planning area. Click on key figure aggregation. Here you have to define aggregation and disaggregation type. For each key figure, where you can see the calculation type. Now I will explain you aggregation and disaggregation in demand planning. Aggregation refers to the function where key figure values on detail level are automatically summed up up at runtime and shown or planned on aggregate level. For example, you can display forecast demand for reason in interactive planning table. You see the forecast demand that the system has summed up for various distribution channels, for families, brands, customers for that particular reason. Disaggregation refers to the function that automatically provides details of key figure value from aggregated level on detail level. For example, you forecast demand for particular reason, the system breaks the value down immediately into the distribution channels, product family, brands, products, customer, and so on. So aggregation and disaggregation of the each key figure are defined by its calculation type and its time-based aggregation type. So calculation type pro rata. Pro rata disaggregation works in two ways depending on whether you are creating or changing key figure values. If we create key figure values on aggregate level, the values are distributed on detail level in equal proportion. If we change key figure values on aggregate level, the values on detail level change so that each one represents the same proportion of aggregate value as before. And we can also have based on another key figure, average key figure. Time-based aggregation types. Here we have P, proportional distribution. In this, data is distributed in the time so that each key figure value in the smallest storage bucket represents the same proportion of value in the aggregate bucket as before. and we have equal distribution, no deceleration in time, and the K based on another key figure. This option is basically same as calculation type P. So data is distributed to the lowest level of detail in the same proportion as those that can be derived from the values of another key figure. So here we will take calculation type S and time based aggregation type P for all the key figures. Go to key figure assignment. These are all key figures assigned to aggregate. Locking logic in the planning area. Before user can change data in the system, this data is locked so that other users cannot change it at the same time. Without locking function, changes could lead to data inconsistency. If system set a lock for a selection, it automatically opens the selection in display mode. So in demand planning, locking is used in the planning transactions such as interactive planning and background planning. So activate linkage lock. Save planning area. Planning area successfully created. The planning is successfully created. Next, initialize planning area. What is planning area initialization? When you click on initialize planning area, time series objects gets created for the newly created caches value combinations. So key figure values are stored in the time series and order series in linkage. Initialization of planning area is like allocating a spot in the linkage to store key figure values. Initialization means that you will be creating table in linkage. To initialize planning area, right click on the planning area and select create time series objects in transaction msdb_admin. So here is the planning area. Right click on the planning area, create time series objects, provide version, the start date and end date. The period should be within a storage bucket profile period. Yes, continue. Planning area version successfully initialized. Now you can see details of planning area. Right click on detail. You can see the bucket profile assigned to planning area, POS, characteristics and the key figures. These are characteristics, this is the navigation attributes, these are the aggregations, key figures, this is the aggregates, for and the sales organization. and you have to create the planning book. So this is creation of planning area. Planning book and data view. A planning book determines the content and layout of the interactive planning screen. You can use planning book in demand planning and supply network planning. They allow you to design the screen to suit individual user planning tasks. User can perform their tasks by using planning book. You can create several planning book under the one planning area and several data view under the one planning book. There is no restriction on the number of planning book you can have for a planning area. And within a planning book you can also define one or more views. Data views allow you, for instance, to tailor the information displayed to various users. For example, displaying different key figures for different users. Planning book is the most common tool for the demand planners. Planning book is based on characteristics and key figures of the planning area. Planning book consists of following items: characteristics, key figures, data views, macros, forecasting, functionality, promotion planning, and interactive graphics. Planning book describes a role in the demand planning process. The data view is of a task assigned to this role. Creation of planning book and data view. Go to transaction code, HDB, ADB. Demand planning, environment, current setting, define planning book. Enter the planning book name. Get the data view and create. Enter planning area. Navigate to use promotion invariant multilinear regression composite. Continue. Add key figures to the planning area. From the planning area to the planning book. Continue. Add characteristics from the planning area to planning book. Continue. Data view. forecast view monthly. Now planning start. Time bucket buffer for future. Now continue. Add all key figures from planning book to data view. Complete. The pop-up will come. Should planning book and data view be completed? Yes. You can check for error. Planning book PB is created. Check to everything is okay. It's great. You can create one more planning book data view. Data view 2. Add all key figures from planning book to data view. Click on complete. So data view 2 has been activated. So this is the creation of planning book and data view. Now go to interactive planning. SAP menu, APO, demand planning, HTTP native interactive demand planning tool. Click on selection window. Search for planning book. So data view monthly and weekly you can see. Click on monthly data view. Click on selection window. We can save the selection and yet select all and load the data, and you can configure so now you can load the history data from InfoCube into planning book and start creating forecast. So you can load histories from InfoCube or flat file. You can upload flat file by clicking here. So this is the end-to-end configuration of demand planning. I have shown configuration of POS, storage bucket profile, planning bucket profile, and creation of planning area, installation of planning area, creation of planning book, and creation of data view. Thank you. And also I want to just show you data by using data view weekly. Just click on weekly view. The load selection, adopt, select all and load. So here you can see the weekly buckets. And you can switch to design mode for planning book. Or you can see live mode. And here you can save the selection. Click on selection profile and assign this section to the user and save. So this is a section. So this is a configuration for demand planning. Thank you.